Welcome to the history of movie theaters for Chicago and Cook County for 1920 to 1929. 1920. The Barbies Loop Theater opened on April 10th. Brunhild and Young Theaters reopens the New President Theater on May 20th. On August 21st, the Prairie Theater is renamed the Prairie Garden Theater. The Stratford Theater opened on September 4th. The Asher Brothers Commercial Theater opened on September 18th. The Asher Brothers Portage Park Theater opened on December 11th. The Asher Brothers West Englewood Theater opened on December 30th. The Apollo Theater becomes the Earl Theater. These theaters closed in 1920. 1921. On January 2nd, the New Park Theater opens and closed by the end of the year. The Balaban and Katz Biltmore Theater opened on January 15th. The Lubliner and Trins Senate Theater opened on February 12th. The Balaban and Katz Tivoli Theater opened on February 16th. The Asher's Roosevelt Theater opened on April 25th in the Loop. The Lincoln Theater in Chicago Heights opens on June 23rd. On October 26th, Balaban and Katz opens the Chicago Theater as the Wonder Theater of the World as the flagship theater for the chain with 5,000 seats, as many as a 24-screen megaplex cinema. The Home Theater at the corner of Elston and Montrose opened on December 4th. These theaters also opened in 1921. Here are the changes for 1921. These theaters closed in 1922. 1922. On February 12th, the Englewood switches to movies full-time. The Chatham Theater opened on June 7th. The McVickers Theater opened on October 26th. The Tiffin Theater opened on October 30th. These theaters also opened in 1922. These theaters closed in 1922. 1923. Asher's pulled their listings from the Chicago Tribune for a few years. The Capitol at 4816 North Kenzie Theater opened on March 7th. The Monroe Theater opened on September 1st in the Loop. The Harris Theater opened on September 22nd. Clooney Brothers opened the Jeffrey Theater. The Gem Theater opens and closed by the end of 1923. It was the Deluxe Theater. The Roby Theater reopens. Here are the changes for 1923. These theaters closed in 1923. 1924. On November 30th, Balaban and Katz opens the Highway Theater. Balaban and Katz opened the Manor Theater. These theaters also opened in 1924. These theaters closed in 1924. 1925. Lubliner and Trins theaters are taken over by Balaban and Katz. The Capitol Theater opened on January 19th. The Arlington Theater in Arlington Heights opens in May. The Diversey Theater opened on July 30th. The Uptown Theater opens on August 18th. The Lubliner and Trins Harding Theater opened on October 12th. The Lubliner and Trins State Theater opened on October 31st. The Lido Theater in Maywood opens as the world's most beautiful suburban theater on November 25th. Asher Theaters opens the Midwest Theater on November 29th. The Milo Theater opened on December 3rd. These theaters also opened in 1925. Here are the changes for 1925. These theaters closed in 1925. 1926. Asher Theaters opens the Terminal Theater on January 7th. Essenes Theaters opens the North Center Theater on February 3rd. Lubliner and Trins opens the Tower Theater on April 11th. Balaban and Katz opens the Oriental Theater in the Loop on May 8th. On May 12th, Lubliner and Trins Theaters opens the Grove Theater. The Asher's Highland Theater opens on May 15th. On May 31st, the Lubliner and Trins Orchestra Hall starts to show movies for the year. Balaban and Katz opens the North Shore Theater on June 17th. Balaban and Katz opens the Alamo Theater on August 18th. The Asher's Colony Theater opens on August 26th. The State Theater opens on August 26th. Marx Brothers opens the Embassy Theater on September 2nd. On September 5th, Lubliner and Trins, which is owned by Balaban and Katz, opens the Congress Theater. On September 13th, Lubliner and Trins, which is owned by Balaban and Katz, opens the Belmont Theater. Marx Brothers opens the Granada Theater on September 18th and taken over by Balaban and Katz shortly after. The Palace Theater at Randolph and LaSalle opens on October 4th. The Varsity Theater in Evanston opens on December 23rd. On November 29th, the Orpheum Circuit Majestic Theater starts to show movies. These theaters also opened in 1926. Here are the changes for 1926. These theaters closed in 1926. 1927. Skånstad Theaters opens the Piccadilly January 24th. The Patio Theater opened on January 29th. The Asher's Sheridan Theater opened on February 12th. Lubliner and Trins opens the Bell Park Theater on March 12th. The Admiral Theater opened on March 31st. Balaban and Katz opens the Marbeau Theater as the second largest in Chicago on May 28th. The Avalon Theater is opened by National Theaters on August 28th. The Lawndale Theater opened on October 19th. The United Artists Theater reopened on December 26th. It was the old Apollo Theater. The Shore Theater opened on December 29th. These theaters also opened in 1927. Here are the changes for 1927. These theaters closed in 1927. 1928. The Chilton Theater opens on January 21st. The Lubliner and Trins Regal Theater opens on February 4th. The Balaban and Katz Paradise Theater opens on September 14th. The Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge opens on November 26th. The Balaban and Katz Parthenon Theater in Berwyn opens in September. United Symphony Theater opens on December 29th. These theaters also opened in 1928. Here are the changes for 1928. These theaters closed in 1928. 1929. Essenes Theaters is established. The Orpheum Circuit becomes part of the RKO chain. The Montclair Theater opens on March 1st. The Ramova Theater opens on August 21st. The Music Box Theater opens on August 22nd. The New Center Theater opens on August 23rd. Essenes Theaters opens the Dearborn Theater on October 4th. The New Orpheus Theater reopens on October 18th. The Cinema Art Theater opens on December 25th. The SNS Theaters reopens the Pantheon Theater on December 25th. The Panorama Theater is sold to SNS October 27th. On November 1st, the Crystal Theater is sold to Balaban and Katz Theaters and reopens. The Knickerbocker Theater becomes the Devon Theater on December 25th. Here are more changes for 1929. These theaters closed in 1929. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.